iPhone 14 Pro technical specifications. iPhone 14 Pro, space black, silver, gold, deep purple. Ceramic shield front, textured matte glass backend. Stainless steel design. iPhone 14 Pro Max, space black, silver, gold, deep purple. Ceramic shield front, textured matte glass backend. Stainless steel design. Capacity. iPhone 14 Pro, 128 GB, 256 GB, 512 GB, 1 TB. iPhone 14 Pro Max, 128 GB, 256 GB, 512 GB, 1 TB. Size and weight. Width, 2.81 inches. 71.5 mm. Height, 5.81 inches. 147.5 mm. Depth, 0.31 inch. 7.85 mm. iPhone 14 Pro. Weight, 7.27 ounces 206 grams. Width, 3.05 inches. 77.6 millimeters. Height, 6.33 inches. 160.7 millimeters. Depth, 0.31 inch. 7.85 millimeters. iPhone 14 Pro Max. Weight, 8.47 ounces 240 grams. Display, iPhone 14 Pro, Super Retina XDR display. 6.1-inch diagonal all-screen OLED display. 2556 by 1179 pixel resolution at 460 pixels per inch. The iPhone 14 Pro display has rounded corners that follow a beautiful curved design, and these corners are within a standard rectangle. When measured as a standard rectangular shape, the screen is 6.12 inches diagonally. Actual viewable area is less. iPhone 14 Pro Max, Super Retina XDR display. 6.7-inch diagonal all-screen OLED display. 2796 by 1290 pixel resolution at 460 pixels per inch. The iPhone 14 Pro Max display has rounded corners that follow a beautiful curved design, and these corners are within a standard rectangle. When measured as a standard rectangular shape, the screen is 6.69 inches diagonally. Actual viewable area is less. Both models. Dynamic Island. Always on display. Promotion technology with adaptive refresh rates up to 120 Hz. HDR display. True tone. Wide color P3. Haptic touch. 2 million. 1 contrast ratio typical. 1000 nits max brightness typical. 1600 nits peak brightness HDR. 2000 nits peak brightness outdoor. Fingerprint resistant oleophobic coating. Support for display of multiple languages and characters simultaneously. Splash, water, and dust resistant 3. Rated IP68 maximum depth of 6 meters up to 30 minutes under IEC standard 60529. Chip, A16 Bionic chip. 6-core CPU with 2 performance and 4 efficiency cores. 5-core GPU. 16-core neural engine. Camera, Pro camera system. 48 megapixels main. 24mm, f1.78 aperture. Second generation sensor shift optical image stabilization. 7-element lens, 100% focus pixels. 12 megapixels ultra wide. 13mm, f2.2 aperture and 120 degrees field of view. 6-element lens, 100% focus pixels. 12 megapixels 2x telephoto enabled by quad pixel sensor, 48mm, f1.78 aperture, second generation sensor shift optical image stabilization, 7-element lens, 100% focus pixels. 12 megapixels 3x telephoto, 77mm, f2.8 aperture, optical image stabilization, 6-element lens. 3x optical zoom in, 2x optical zoom out, 6x optical zoom range, digital zoom up to 15x. Sapphire crystal lens cover, adaptive true tone flash, photonic engine, deep fusion, smart HDR4. Portrait mode with advanced bokeh and depth control. Portrait lighting with 6 effects: natural, studio, contour, stage, stage mono, high key mono. Night mode portraits enabled by lidar scanner. Panorama up to 63 megapixels. Photographic styles. Macro photography. Apple Pro RAW. Wide color capture for photos and live photos. Lens correction ultra wide. Advanced red eye correction. Auto image stabilization. Burst mode. Photo geotagging. Image formats captured. HEIF, JPEG, and DNG. Video recording. 4K video recording at 24 fps, 25 fps, 30 fps, or 60 fps. 1080p HD video recording at 25 fps, 30 fps, or 60 fps. 720p HD video recording at 30 fps. Cinematic mode up to 4K HDR at 30 fps. Action mode up to 2.8K at 60 fps. HDR video recording with Dolby Vision up to 4K at 60 fps. ProRes video recording up to 4K at 30 fps, 1080p at 30 fps for 128GB storage. Macro video recording, including slow-mo and time-lapse. Slow-mo video support for 1080p at 120 fps or 240 fps. Time-lapse video with stabilization. Night mode time-lapse. Quick take video. Second generation sensor shift optical image stabilization for video main. Dual optical image stabilization for video main and telephoto. 3x optical zoom in, 2x optical zoom out, 6x optical zoom range. Digital zoom up to 9x. Audio zoom. True tone flash. Cinematic video stabilization 4K, 1080p, and 720p. Continuous autofocus video. Take 8 megapixel still photos while recording 4K video. Playback zoom. Video formats recorded. HEVC, H.264, and ProRes. Stereo recording. True depth camera. 12 megapixels camera. f1.9 aperture. Autofocus with focus pixels. 6-element lens. Retina flash. Photonic engine. Deep fusion. Smart HDR4. Portrait mode with advanced bokeh and depth control. Portrait lighting with 6 effects: natural, studio, contour, stage, stage mono, high key mono. Animoji and Memoji. Night mode. Photographic styles. Apple Pro RAW. Wide color capture for photos and live photos. Lens correction. Auto image stabilization. Burst mode. 4K video recording at 24 fps, 25 fps, 30 fps, or 60 fps. 1080p HD video recording at 25 fps, 30 fps, or 60 fps. Cinematic mode up to 4K HDR at 30 fps. HDR video recording with Dolby Vision up to 4K at 60 fps. ProRes video recording up to 4K at 30 fps, 1080p at 30 fps for 128GB storage. Slow-mo video support for 1080p at 120 fps. Time-lapse video with stabilization. Night mode time-lapse. Quick take video. Cinematic video stabilization 4K, 1080p, and 720p. Face ID. Enabled by TrueDepth camera for facial recognition. Apple Pay. Pay with your iPhone using Face ID in stores, within apps, and on the web. Send and receive money and messages with Apple Cash. Apple Card. Credit card created by Apple, designed for iPhone. Get unlimited 3% daily cash at Apple and select merchants, 2% with Apple Pay, and 1% everywhere else. Use the Wallet app to apply for, manage, and use Apple Card. Titanium, laser-etched physical credit card for use where Apple Pay is not accepted yet. Share with up to 5 people, 13 years or older, in your family sharing group to track expenses, manage spending, and build credit together for those over 18. Model A2650. 5G NR bands N1, N2, N3, N5, N7, N8, N12, N14, N20, N25, N26, N28, N29, N30, N38, N40, N41, N48, N53, N66, N70, N71, N77, N78, N79. 5G NRMM wave bands N258, N260, N261. FDD LTE bands 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, 26, 28, 29, 30, 32, 66, 71. TD-LTE bands 34, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 46, 48, 53. UMTS HSPA plus DCHSDPA, 850, 900, 1700 2100, 1900, 2100 MHz. GSM Edge 850, 900, 1800, 1900 MHz. Model A2651. 5G NR bands N1, N2, N3, N5, N7, N8, N12, N14, N20, N25, N26, N28, N29, N30, N38, N40, N41, N48, N53, N66, N70, N71, N77, N78, N79. 5G NRMM wave bands N258, N260, N261. FDD LTE bands 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 17, 18, 19, 20, 25, 26, 28, 29, 30, 32, 66, 71. TD-LTE bands 34, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 46, 48, 53. UMTS HSPA plus DCHS DPA, 850, 900, 1700 2100, 1900, 2100 MHz. GSM Edge 850, 900, 1800, 1900 MHz. All models. 5G sub-6 GHz and MM wave with 4x4 MIMO. Gigabit LTE with 4x4 MIMO and LAA9. Wi-Fi 6 802.11 AX with 2x2 MIMO. Bluetooth 5.3, ultra-wideband chip for spatial awareness 10. NFC with reader mode. Express cards with power reserve. Location, precision dual-frequency GPS, GLONASS, Galileo, QZSS, and Beidou. Digital compass, Wi-Fi, cellular, iBeacon microlocation, video calling, FaceTime video calling over cellular or Wi-Fi. FaceTime HD 1080p, video calling over 5G or Wi-Fi. Share experiences like movies, TV, music, and other apps in a FaceTime call with SharePlay. Screen sharing, portrait mode in FaceTime video. Spatial audio, voice isolation and wide-spectrum microphone modes. Optical zoom with rear-facing camera. Audio calling, FaceTime audio, voice over LTE, VoLTE. Wi-Fi calling, share experiences like movies, TV, music, and other apps in a FaceTime call with SharePlay. Screen sharing, spatial audio, voice isolation and wide-spectrum microphone modes. Audio playback, supported formats include AAC, MP3, Apple Lossless, FLAC, Dolby Digital Plus, and Dolby Atmos. Spatial audio playback, user-configurable maximum volume limit. Video playback, supported formats include HEVC, H.264, and ProRes. HDR with Dolby Vision, HDR10, and HLG. Up to 4K HDR AirPlay for mirroring, photos, and video out to Apple TV, second generation or later, or AirPlay-enabled Smart TV. Video mirroring and video out support. Up to 1080p through Lightning Digital AV adapter and Lightning to VGA adapter, adapters sold separately. 12. Siri. Use your voice to send messages, set reminders, and more. Activate hands-free with only your voice using, Hey Siri. Use your voice to run shortcuts from your favorite apps. External buttons and connectors. Volume up, down, ring, silent, side button, built-in stereo speaker, built-in microphone, lightning connector, built-in microphones, built-in stereo speaker, power and battery, video playback, up to 23 hours. Video playback, streamed, up to 20 hours. Audio playback, up to 75 hours. Video playback, up to 29 hours. Video playback, streamed, up to 25 hours. Audio playback, up to 95 hours. Both models. Built-in rechargeable lithium-ion battery. MagSafe wireless charging up to 15 W. Qi wireless charging up to 7.5 W. Charging via USB to computer system or power adapter. Fast charge capable, up to 50% charge in around 30 minutes with 20 W adapter or higher, available separately. MagSafe. Wireless charging up to 15 W. Magnet array. Alignment magnet. Accessory identification NFC. Magnetometer. Sensors. Face ID. Lidar scanner. Barometer. High dynamic range gyro. High G accelerometer. Proximity sensor. Dual ambient light sensors. Operating system. iOS 16. iOS is the world's most personal and secure mobile operating system, packed with powerful features and designed to protect your privacy. Accessibility. Built-in accessibility features supporting vision, mobility, hearing, and cognitive disabilities help you get the most out of your iPhone. Features include voice control, voiceover, zoom, magnifier, RTT and TTY support. Siri and dictation. Type to Siri. Switch control. Closed captions. Assistive touch. Spoken content. Back tap. Built-in apps. App Store Books Calculator Calendar Camera Clock Compass Contacts FaceTime Files Find My Fitness Freeform Health Home iTunes Store Magnifier Mail Maps Measure Messages Music News Notes Phone Photos Podcasts Reminders Safari Settings Shortcuts Siri Stocks Tips Translate TV Voice Memos Wallet Watch Weather. Free apps from Apple. Pages, Numbers, Keynote, iMovie, GarageBand, Clips, and Apple Store app are pre-installed. iMovie Pages Keynote Numbers GarageBand Apple Store Trailers iTunes Remote Clips Support. SIM card. Dual eSIM 2 active eSIMs, stores 8 or more eSIMs. iPhone 14 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro Max use eSIM technology and are not compatible with physical SIM cards. Rating for hearing aids. M3, T4. Mail attachment support. Viewable document types. .jpg, TIFF, GIF images. .docn. Docs Microsoft Word. .html. HTML Web Pages. Keynote Numbers Pages PDF Preview in Adobe Acrobat. PPT and PPTX Microsoft PowerPoint. TXT Text. RTF Rich Text Format. VCF Contact Information. XLSN XLSX Microsoft Excel. Zip. .ix USDZ Universal System Requirements. Apple ID required for some features. Internet access. Syncing to a Mac or PC requires macOS Catalina 10.15 or later using the Finder. macOS El Capitan 10.11.6 through macOS Mojave 10.14.6 using iTunes 12.8 or later. Windows 7 or later using iTunes 12.10.10 or later. Free download from iTunes.com/download closing parenthesis. Environmental requirements. Operating ambient temperature. 32 degrees to 95 degrees Fahrenheit, 0 degrees to 35 degrees Celsius. Non-operating temperature. -4 degrees to 113 degrees.